Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So if you saw this week's match, you know what's coming. We got LordKnightmon making a resurgence. It's seeing a lot more popularity, maybe not in like major meta events, but at least as something fun and different to take to locals. I know it's weird to put the thought of LordKnightmon as like a fun random rogue deck because of its oppression for so long during BT5, literally the format that lasted forever. But yeah, it's finally to the point that I think that we can really kind of look back at this deck and play it for fun. And honestly, it's really powerful. If you saw the feature match and you saw that game one where this deck just exploded, all the synergy it has with all these new cards, tons of new Pulsemons, doing some really spicy things in this deck. When it pops off, especially with mulligans making it even easier, yeah, it's got some explosive speed to it. Also, don't forget our memory marker this month is Digimon. So if you're playing some X Antibody or you saw our X Antibody deck profile last week and you're really excited to pick that deck up, or you want to play some Alphamon in BT9, this is going to be an awesome memory marker for that. Always super nice to have a themed memory marker to go with the deck you're playing. As always, this is handmade out of clay by my wife, hand painted as well. So you can find this little guy on our Etsy store. There's a link in the description below. Also, you can get access to all the previous memory markers we've had on the channel, as well as we have our Battle Ready Ink merch now on there as well. So our game mats and our sleeves. So doing it again where we're just showing the whole deck, people seem to really like that. So I think I'm going to stick with it moving forward from now on. So a lot of what you can see here, we got a lot of Pulsemons. We have a whole lot of speed cards and tons of attacks. We're not really doing the control strategy anymore of LordKnightmon in combination with like a Wargreymon, that sort of thing. We've kind of reined in the control a little bit. We still have some of it. I mean, it does it so easily. It just works into the strategy so well. It's hard to kind of not have it in there. But really, we're really looking for just consistency and raw speed and clear your opponent as fast as possible. In a format like we're in with these really fast decks, I mean, blue, as popular as it is right now, is a very speedy deck. And having a deck like LordKnightmon where you can build up in raising area where you're protected from cards like blue is really cool. So and things like Jessamon or Judgment Blade, that sort of thing, just being able to chill in raising area until you get your pieces, and then you promote up, and then you literally just explode and you clear a ton of security and get a whole bunch of hits in all in the same turn. So let's go ahead and do this card by card here. First up, we got Upamon. This is just a little bit more draw power and consistency. LordKnightmon has always had the issue of once it just kind of spams out its hand, it has nothing because it played all these cards for free. It never actually does a whole lot of evoing after you get your LordKnightmon on field, so you don't have that draw power that a lot of other decks have. So Upamon just kind of helps offset that a little bit. If you have three or fewer security cards, you get to draw one when attacking. So this is really easy to do in this deck because we like to put ourselves to exactly 3 security and then just pop off. So triggering this guy is literally just all part of the strategy. Also, you notice I just kind of went with like a whole bunch of max rarity things that they had on DigimonCard.dev for kicks. They didn't have the LordKnightmon one, sadly, but all these other ones, yeah, these are all the max rarity versions. I just thought it was kind of silly, so I went ahead and did it. Next, we got 4 of the Starmons. This is just a really solid card to drop. A 3-play cost rookie that you can randomly drop and clear things off the board. As long as you have one other Digimon on field, you're clearing tons of these 2K bodies between like the memory blockers or the Evo reduction blockers, and then all these like hybrid search cards and things like that. Tons of 2K bodies in this meta. I mean, literally, if you look at this deck, it's just filled with 2Ks, and that's how a lot of these decks are in the format. So all these rookies are super easy to clear if a Starmon's. Just a good thing to pass turn. Just, you know, ease the aggro off your opponent a little bit. They can't get, you know, free checks off of rookies, that sort of thing. Just a really nice kind of clear card. But in combination with LordKnightmon, you can start spamming out these, or sorry, we're at 3 of on this. I forgot I went with a super diverse spread instead of maxing out. I like the the idea of having a whole lot of different things and different choices rather than just going heavy on one strategy and praying that one strategy works. So the diversity is what I'm really liking here. But again, LordKnightmon being able to just like flood the field of all these different targets, combined with Angelomon also getting to play a whole lot of free stuff, you can really like get some massive hits on these Starmons. So we can talk about some of the combinations that we can get into here towards the end, though. But Starmons is a great finisher, for sure. One of the last cards you play is always usually Starmons. Next, we got one of the new Pulsemon here. So this guy has the on-play ability of you may trash cards from the top of your security stack until there are 3 left. Gain 1 memory for each security card trash. If you want, you can just hard play this guy. Sometimes for like 1 cost, if you're like beginning of the game, you're at 5. Reduce your security down to 3. I know that sounds really crazy, but it's perfect for the strategy. Like just already talking about the Upamon earlier, where you need to be at 3 or less. Tons of our Pulsemons require us to be at exactly 3 security. So this is a really good enabler. So if you're higher than what you need to be at, this is the perfect card to bring you down. So if you're swinging in for an attack with like a LordKnightmon and you get to play this guy for free, you can use his ability, reduce your security down, and then you can pop off with all your other effects. So he's a great enabler for it. Or even just hard playing him and don't use your LordKnightmon effect to play him. So just hard playing him for like 1 cost, then you can swing with the LordKnightmon and then use your LordKnightmon's abilities for other targets instead. So he's a great card to get going. Also has a really nice inheritable. While you have 3 security cards, again 3 exactly, this Digimon gains jamming. So LordKnightmon never really had a big issue with that because he gets incredibly massive on your turn and your opponent's turn. The Pulsemon, like this Pulsemon, is really cool for Wargreymon centric strategies because Wargreymon being able to attack twice is awesome, except for the fact that he always died in security when he swung in. In this meta, probably could get away with Wargreymon a lot easier. It's harder for him to die, a lot less targets that can kill him these days. But back then, super brutal. So this card is a great addition for that. But really, though, the on-play, just reducing your security down, is really essential for a lot of other stuff that we're trying to do. One of the better targets for evoing on top of is actually this Pulsemon. So when attacking once per turn, if you have 3 security cards, again 3 exactly, gain 2 memory. So this is a really powerful card, being able to gain this memory for stuff like we'll talk about later, but like Electric Rush down here is a 2-cost card. So being able to evo into like LordKnightmon, put yourself to 0, swing with this Pulsemon, and then gain 2 memory back to allow you to then play Electric Rush is a pretty spicy combo that you can do. So really awesome card for sure. Definitely one of probably the best inheritable you can get, even over the jamming. The jamming, like I said, is only good if you have a low DP Digimon, which our LordKnightmon most of the time doesn't have a problem with. So this is like your ideal Evo target. But again, all of our rookies are 0 Evo cost, so if that's what you draw and that's what you need to go into in Raising Area, it's okay. 0 Evo cost is still 0 Evo cost. Next, we got the classic Pulsemon, just your classic on play. If you have 3 security cards, or 3 or more, draw 1. If you have 3 or less, gain 1 memory. So again, just an ideal target if you're exactly at 3. Play this guy. If you play him for free, like off of an Angelomon or a LordKnightmon, you get to gain that free memory as well as to draw the card. Like really good value if you can play him for free. But even this is a classic like turn 1. Let me evo in the raising area, and then I'm just going to slam down a Pulsemon to pass turn. That's a pretty old school common. I wouldn't say old school, but it was a pretty common play you can do. Next up, we got 3 Bushi. Again, this artwork is sick. I absolutely want one of these guys so bad, but they are fairly pricey. But Rush, so being able to play rookies for free, you can play out multiple Bushis. So LordKnightmon can play him for free, Angelomon can play him for free. If you also notice, we have Mastemon down there as kind of our spicy little 5th mega choice that go into. She can also bring back Bushi out of the trash. So Bushi for game is kind of one of those things I really wanted to incorporate into this because I had so much fun doing Bushi for game back during BT5 that I absolutely wanted to have it in here too. Used to, you'd only run 2 copies, but I went ahead and bumped it up to 3 of because it just feels so good. Being able to play multiples of him is really powerful, especially because what we're going to be getting into, like with the Electric Rush combo, you can essentially play these, like tons of these guys, playing 3 Bushi in one turn is actually a doable thing now because of some crazy combos that we can do. So you could almost argue going for 4. I think that's a little excessive though, so I just went with the 3 of, just to kind of, again, balance out our rookies to this nice even footing here. Next up, we got our level 4s. Just I got Pitomon here. Mainly, he's just here as a 1-cost Evo. We're trying to speed up into LordKnightmon as fast as possible, and 1-cost Evo level 4s is what we want. So I just threw Pitomon in here because he was a 1-cost Evo that just happened to have the effect of blocker. I would say, like, most of the time, not even that relevant. But in the cases where sometimes you just actually do need a blocker, your opponent brings out a Susanomon against you. It's like, okay, let me just put this Susanomon on top of whatever rookie it was that I played for free, and I'll just Evo into this Pitomon to pass turn to hold that Susanomon off. Susanomon doesn't have piercing or anything like that, so blockers are actually fairly okay. In the idea of they're extremely limited in their use, with Jesmon being less played these days, kind of less to worry about. So now that we're getting past the Jesmon era, I think the blockers have a more viable chance of coming back a little bit. We'll see though. Really though, 1-cost Evo. So same with Tarumon here. 1-cost Evo is just level 4. That's why we're here. 6,000 DP. It's not overly crazy or anything too awesome or powerful. But again, it is a little something. Sometimes you can swing over some of these. Like the hybrids, the level 4 hybrids, some of them are at like 5,000 DP, so you can swing over those guys at least when the opportunity arises. So, but again, just another 1-cost Evo. Now, the last one here, normally we have 3 of our level 4s, but really I wanted to kind of cut down a little bit on the level 4 package, just a tiny bit, because the idea is to go into one LordKnightmon, and then LordKnightmon either going to play you a level 5 for free to then Evo like another LordKnightmon or a Mastemon on, and that's it. So you really only ever need to go into one LordKnightmon, because this deck, like, literally it pops off basically one time. You get one good turn that's just mind-blowing, and then after that you're probably gonna be like done. I mean, it's just kind of how it is. So one good LordKnightmon stack, and then you just pop off. And so we went with the Gladiumon as just like a little bit of consistency. Like, if you don't have the LordKnightmon in hand, this is a good like early turn card, just on play. Search your security, add a warrior or a holy warrior type, and then add it to your hand. Then you get your recovery back. So just a great little card, just like, okay, I don't have LordKnightmon in my hand, I'm not drawing it. Well, let me see if there's one in my security. I got to check 5 cards, and like that's almost like checking the top 5 of your deck, looking for a LordKnightmon. But then you get to put them all back right where they were. Also, you can add, copies of himself or copies of Nightmon, so like gives you a chance to dig out a level 5 if you need. Also gives you a chance to play or grab a Nightmon to play off of the Lord Knight as well. Just a great little consistency card. Just at a 2 of in here, I think that's fine, just to kind of help get things going if you're in a bind. Also, you can play him off of LordKnightmon, so if you don't have any rookies or anything like that, you can at least play him, get his search off, and then like Evo like a level 5 on top of him if you need to. Next we got our level 5s, and first up we have Angelmon. Yes, I went with the gorgeous first anniversary artwork because it's absolutely my favorite Angelmon artwork. If you haven't seen this card in real life, I highly recommend buying one because the foiling on these things is out of this world. So when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -2. I mean, this has come up for me tons. Plenty of times I'm like, ooh, I'm about to die. I got this Jesmon swinging in twice against me or something like that. I'm just going to go Angelmon minus the security attack on it, and then I don't have to deal with it, right? So even if it has a security attack bonus, it's still good. So I'm like protecting myself from like 4 checks sometimes. So very, very powerful card just for that. But really, we're here for the inheritable. 100% We are here for the when attacking. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, you may play 1 yellow level 3 Digimon card from your hand without paying its memory cost. So again, the key is getting yourself to exactly 3 security as much as you possibly can. You can be 3 or lower for some of these abilities, but a lot of them you have to be at exactly 3. To do the big super epic combo, you have to be exactly at 3. So Angelomon here, just being able to play a second body. So LordKnightmon gets to play 1 for free, and Angelomon gets to play 1 for free. So that's 2 bodies you get to put on field. Next, we got Nightmon. Just plays into the strategy. On play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. Like I said, we're not like going super heavy on the DP minusing. Sometimes, you need just a little bit of this to lower something so LordKnightmon can swing over it, that sort of thing. Sometimes you can just kill off some rookies, Very rarely do you get to kill off a level 4, but, sometimes just taking out a rookie is pretty solid. Being able to, like, pop a memory blocker, that sort of thing. Could be kind of relevant there. So that's really cool. Just a great little addition to the deck. Also, not really the DP minusing, but the fact that you can hard play a level 5 for free and then just Evo right on top of it with like another LordKnightmon or a Mastemon, whatever it is a bigger thing in this deck than I would say in previous incarnations. Previous incarnations, the DP minusing, we had so much DP minusing, like with the War Growlmon and things like that, like being able to stack all these DP minusing was great. But in this, we don't have a whole lot of that. Like I said, we're really, really aggro focused. So that's a little bit less important. It's, again, playing a level 5 for free is really, really important. So that's just a nice little extra touch here that you can go with. Next, we got the boss monster themselves here. When attacking, you may play a yellow 3, a yellow level 3 Digimon card, or a yellow Digimon card with warrior in its type from your hand without paying its memory cost. So again, the idea is just to flood the field with rookies. But if you don't have enough rookies, or you don't have any rookies that are like impactful, you can play something like a Gladiamon or a Nightmon, that sort of thing as like an alternative choice. And then also all turns for each other Digimon you haven't played, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. Like I said, this guy gets so massive that the jamming just isn't relevant. If you swing with them and then you play 2 rookies, one off the LordKnightmon and one off the Angelomon, you're already at 13,000. Say you played this Pulsemon here to reduce your security down to 3 before you even attacked. Now you're even in a better position. So you've got plus 3 bodies on field. So now you're sitting at 14,000, which is a very, very nice position to be in. So you're just in a really, really good advantageous position at that point. So this is a big enabler for sure. Just being able to play free rookies, just like go ham on your opponent, is definitely the ideal like centric strategy of the deck. Next, we got Mastemon. So this was kind of a flex spot of which mega did I want to go with. I could have gone with War Greymon to get 2 attacks, right? War Greymon can attack, unsuspend, and attack again. But to do that, you have to bounce a security to hand, which could kind of mess up timing on things. So if you don't win attacking immediately, it kind of messes up the order a tad bit, but sometimes not. As long as you pick it in the right order, you should be okay. But you can't do like Pulsemon. You got to be more careful with this card, that sort of thing. So it's just War Greymon is a little awkward. The jamming with War Greymon works really nice. The DP minusing is a little less important, but being able to swing twice is really cool. But Mastemon, my thought process here was I can Evo there. Again, I reduce a trash security of my own, which can basically get us to the same thing that War Greymon does. And then also trashes a security of my opponent's. Okay, that's cool. Awesome. So then that's kind of like having 2 attacks if you want to look at it like that. So Evo, trash the security, which is kind of better than actually attacking into security. And then you attack with the Mastemon also, and that's another security. So same thing as War Greymon. We're basically clearing 2 security. But in addition to that, you also get to play a a one purple or yellow Digimon card with a level 4 or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on play abilities trigger, that sort of thing. So you can go like Pulsemon to gain some free memory, and go Starmons to kill something, go into the other Pulsemons here to, you know, reduce your security if need be, play some Bushi. Like, the versatility of Mastemon, I think, is just a tiny bit more impactful. Now, being able to swing twice with LordKnightmon and triggering Angelomon's ability here, that's not once per turn, is really cool. But it both times have to be from hand. With Mastemon, you Evo, play one from trash, you attack, Angelomon, play one from hand. So you're still getting to play two bodies, the same as WarGreymon, but again, and you're still getting two security checks. The only like difference is that WarGreymon does minus 6,000 DP on something, whereas Mastemon doesn't. Mastemon has a little bit more DP. Mastemon is a little bit more versatile, being able to pick stuff up from trash instead of relying on Angelomon to play two things from hand. So very, very similar. Very, very similar to the same card, the same outcome, the same goal, essentially. So I just think Mastemon just beats it out just a little bit, just because it's a little bit more versatile. Also, being able to clear a security of your opponents by not actually swinging into it in this format is pretty powerful. Like against yellow, being able to like possibly remove a Wyvern's Breath or the purple option, or you know the Schwartz, being able to get that out of there, being able to clear like a if they're playing against me, Jack Raid might be chilling in their security. You know, against blue players, they might have Hammer Spark or Ice Wall. Being able to just like clear an option that could really mess you up is huge. Literally, I had Ying play Mastemon against me and then cleared, I forgot what it was, but I feel like it was something that would have been huge, but they Mastemon and swung for game. So yeah, Mastemon, I think, just a tad bit better than WarGreymon. Next, we got our memory fixer here, just in TK, being kind of similar to the thought process of Gladiamon, just being able to check your security, find if you're missing like a missing link, you know, Angelomon or LordKnightmon, being able to add that to hand, just so you can guarantee to get into those like super early into the game, as well as being a memory fixer. I think is really important because a lot of our stuff here is 3 Evo costs, so being able to promote up my Angelomon, Evo into LordKnightmon, and it still be on my turn, so then I can just pop off, is very, very important. So TK for that for sure. Then moving on, we also have Blinding Ray here. Being able, so you trash a card in your security stack, which again helps make sure you can get to the 3 security you need to be at, and then gain 2. So if you don't have a memory fixer on field, you can still go Blinding Ray, get yourself up to that 3 memory that you need to be at to Evo into LordKnightmon, and then LordKnightmon can swing and do all of its fun shenanigans. We have 2 in here. I don't want to go too overboard. This card in security sucks. If you've ever played this card, you know exactly what I mean. Like, you play a TK and you see Blinding Ray and you just feel obligated. It's like, oh, there's a LordKnightmon in there, but there's also a Blinding Ray in there. Like, I really should grab that Blinding Ray out of there because it's going to do me no good, but I really need that LordKnightmon. Like, it feels bad. But so 2 of this guy, just because if you can get both of them in hand and you're at like 5 security, you know, pop 2 of these and then go full combo. You're at perfectly 3 security. It's another enabler to lower your security. You know, we have tons of different ways to do that. So again, just another enabler to get you to that perfect threshold of 3 security. As well as giving you memory just to pop off with like some crazy out of this world turns. Next is the most awesome card in this whole deck. Main, one of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP for the turn. Then, if you have 3 security cards, again, exactly 3, unsuspend one of your Digimon. Like, sometimes in a vacuum, that doesn't feel too great. But think about all the stuff we talked about, right? So we'll go back here to the Pulsemon. This is our ideal Pulsemon target to Evo on top of. If you have 3 security cards, gain 2 memory. So when attacking, so you attack with your LordKnightmon, gain the 2 memory here. So now you're back at 2 memory. You LordKnightmon effect, Angelomon effect. Say you played out 2 Bushis. They swung in. They've got security checks. So now that's 3 security checks you've done. Then you're going to Electric Rush, unsuspend LordKnightmon, and then attack again. So you've LordKnightmon, so you've played out 2 bodies, so he's at 13,000, right? If you had another one from like the beginning of the turn that maybe you played out possibly to gain some memory, now you're at, maybe 14. Now you swing with LordKnightmon again. You play 2 more bodies. Now you're at 16,000, as well as the +3 from Electric Rush. So you're at 19,000. So if you hit like a Wyvern's Breath or something like that, it's not touching you. Extremely powerful combos here. Extremely powerful. So that's more hits in there. So again, you can play more Bushi, so you can get play another Bushi. That's what is that? 3, 4, 5 security checks at this point. 5 security checks off of basically 2 attacks with LordKnightmon. That's how powerful this deck is. Or say you didn't play the Bushi, you could go like or play a Nightmon and then Evo the Mastemon on top of the Nightmon. Like tons of different combos you can do with this. Just Electric Rush is a very, very awesome card. Works perfectly into this deck. Just really helps, makes everything come together. All this stuff that we're building for, being at that 3 security, sure, we've got Upamon draw, we got the Pulsemon gain 2 memory, we've got the Angelomon here playing free rookies, all because we're at exactly 3 or less. But then Electric Rush comes in and they're like, okay, that's just icing on the cake at this point. Absolutely bonkers. And then kind of just at the end here, we've got some Spiral Masquerade, just because this is a good removal target. A lot of the boards in this format are going like really wide, especially like blue. They're going to play out all these rookies and Pokemons and things like that. So then you're just going to drop this and just clear the whole field all at once. So that's really powerful. It's just a really good like removal thing. If it gets hit in security, also very, very powerful. You can combine it up like Shine Greymon and kill one big thing or kill a bunch of little things. It's a very, very powerful card for sure. And then the last card, I went with a yellow memory boost here, just as a little bit of consistency. Like LordKnightmon, Angelomon, like these are all super important cards. So if you check your security with like a TK and you don't have them in there and you desperately need them, yellow memory boost is going to be like your next big thing that you need to start digging as fast as possible. You have got to, before your security gets lower than 3, you have to be able to pop off. So you've got a limited amount of turns to just go ham on your opponent. So going yellow memory boost to help you dig for those important cards, I think is a must. So I got 2 copies in here as well. The delay gain 2 could also kind of help you out. Once you do find those pieces, you can pop off into some very big plays. Again, if you don't have like Blinding Ray, something like that, yellow memory boost is like a pseudo Blinding Ray in that instance there. Also, if you don't have like the Pulsemon as an inheritable, Blinding Ray serves the same purpose. It gets your Electric Rush, gets you to be able to activate Electric Rush. If you don't have Blinding Ray or Pulsemon, you've got Yellow Memory Boost. You can use that to get you that 2 memory. All these different ways to get you that extra 2 memory to be able to play Electric Rush and then just close out the game. Now, one card that I didn't have in here was Kazuchimon, which is literally the card that works into Pulsemon. It's like his whole chain that comes back. Instead of Mastemon, you can play the Kazuchimon, okay? Because what Kazuchimon does is he's going to get you that recovery. So if you just can't pop off fast enough, you just couldn't get into it, you can Evo for 5 on this guy and get recovery and go back up to 3 security and then pop off. Yeah, 5 Evo cost is massive. It is huge. But think about it like this. TK sets you to 3. You're at, 1, 2, whatever security, a single Kazuchimon isn't going to matter. It's going to get you up to 3, but it's going to pass turn, and then your opponent's going to hit you again. Play these Blinding Rays. So 0 cost, you're going to gain 2 memory. 1 Blinding Ray puts you at 5 memory with a TK. Okay, yeah, you trash the security, But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you play both blinding rays, one blinding ray, whatever. If you're at 0 memory or you're at 0 security, you play both blinding rays. You know, you go up to 7, whatever the case is. I mean, that's really, really awesome. If you play both, go up to 7. Evo into Kazuchimon, he's gonna heal you back up to 3. You swing with the Kazuchimon, then so he's got security attack +1. You're going to get your Angelmon triggers here, all your other triggers for being at 3 security. You know, Kazuchimon popping off for you. And then because you blinding ray twice, or whichever, the yellow memory boost, whatever you'd play to get you that other 2 memory, then you can still electric rush with Kazuchimon. So then unsuspend the Kazuchimon and attack again with that security +1. Pretty awesome. I mean, literally, Mastemon, Kazuchimon, whatever you prefer. I think the deck is very, very flexible. Very, very awesome combos that you can do with this deck. Really enjoying it for just something fun and like different that's, you know, you're not really seeing in locals a whole bunch right now. I think it's definitely a deck to check out for sure.